Well, you have already met our session leader for this afternoon, Paul Akers, this morning as I did. And so you've already read his bio, but I said to Paul just a minute ago, I said, what would you say? What would you have me say about you? And he said, well, tell them that I'm a carpenter. Tell them I was a D student. And I said, would you say ordinary? And he said, yes, I would say just an ordinary guy. And immediately my mind went to Acts 4:13. And in that passage of Scripture, you'll remember that people recognized that Peter and John were ordinary and unschooled men. And they were so surprised at who they were. And then the Scripture says, but they noticed they'd been with Jesus. And so what we see about Paul is he says that he's ordinary, but you can tell he's been with Jesus. And you can tell that he knows what he's supposed to be doing in the world. And one of those things is loving people and loving them hard and finding ways to make their lives better and easier. So please give it up. Paul Akers, come on.
I'm very passionate about this subject, very excited because Bob just came up to me a minute ago and showed me a video that was sent to him by one of his people that, videos are just coming in nonstop to his company because they're doing lean. And I'm just like, this is crazy how cool it is. And what I want to talk about today and in this session is video power. Because one of the things that I discovered on my lean journey was how to make lean stick. And there are really just like two components that you have to do. The first one is you have to learn what the 8 wastes are. And I'm going to teach you that in a minute. And then you have to make before and after videos. So we've identified in cultures all over the world, companies all over the world that we've worked with and taught this to, that every time they do these two things, they teach all their people the 8 wastes relentlessly. See, we teach our people the 8 wastes every day. There's no posters in our building. There are no slogans on the wall. Nothing. I'm going to show you our building in a minute. Our people have this internalized into them. So every day, one person in our company in our morning meeting repeats the 8 wastes. And I'm going to go over them in a minute. And then every day we're making videos. And we don't have a big fancy video production crew. All we do is take our iPhones or our Androids and we hold them like this. We don't hold them like this. We don't want to look through a keyhole at a video. We hold them like this. We don't hold them like this. We hold them with 4 fingers on the 4 corners, very steady. We don't move like this. We go very slow. This is the problem. This is the solution. A 1 to 2 minute video very quickly. We upload that to YouTube, and the rest is history. We have thousands of videos. We have videos being made around the world, and what happens is you transmit and support your culture with this fabulous training tool that's interesting and engaging for everyone. And that has been the critical component. So before I start, I want to ask every table to just give me one question that's burning in your mind about what I talked about this morning. Real quick. Jeff, go ahead, start at your table. Come on, you guys, give me one question real quick. Jeff has a microphone, or I'll repeat the question. One question. What's burning in your mind? Okay, there you go. So the 8 wastes. You need to learn the 8 wastes. So I'm going to do that. This table. Go ahead. This table back here. Okay, so once you start, how long to see fruit? 2-pronged question. It's very typical within the first week to see amazing things. It took us 1 year before we really got our wheels going. But I wrote the book to erase all the mistakes that I made so that you guys could be much more successful. So we have companies that are doing it for 1 year, like I said, Walters and Wolf, and I could go a litany list, hundreds of companies long, that in 1 year, their entire culture has been transformed. And huge organizations, small organizations, it doesn't matter. The key is to keep it simple and be deliberate. If you think, FastCap is not a product development company. We are a lean company that happens to be a product development company. It doesn't matter what we do in the world. Because of the way we think about everything, we will be successful. It's impossible not to be. So lean must be your central focus. It cannot be an initiative. It can't be the next flavor of the month. It isn't, hey, we're going to try this lean thing. It is all in or forget it. It doesn't work. Next question. Right here.
How do you have time to help so many companies across the world and still run a great company?
Awesome question. Because I leaned out the process of teaching. I make videos for everything I do. With 3 tour requests a day, 3 speaking requests a day, there's no way I can get to everyone. So I make videos for everyone. And I'm going to answer your question with the video that I'm going to play that I made yesterday. I'm going to show you an 8-minute video that I made yesterday. It's kind of hard to believe that I could just crank out videos this easy, but I made the making of videos simple. And by doing so, I can communicate to the mass number of people very easily, and it's engaging. Did that answer the question? That's how I do it. So I'm going to play this video, and then we're going to go to the next question. And this video is an overview of my company. It's about 8 minutes long. You're not going to see a lot of our people because I have thousands of videos with all of our people in it. I just did this video for one purpose. Everyone wants to go. Everyone goes, I want to see the new FastCap. I want to see what you guys are doing. I want to see what it feels like. And I said, okay. So I ran and quick grabbed my video camera. I didn't use my phone in this case. I used a video camera, not a terribly expensive one. And I just ran around the shop real quick and kind of showed people so they could feel it to eliminate all those people that wanted to come. Okay? So this is it. This is an overview of FastCap.
I'm going to give you a quick tour of FastCap. First of all, FastCap's located in Washington State, about 2 hours north of Seattle, up in a town called Ferndale, which is just a little bit north of Bellingham. And we have a beautiful new facility. It's about 50,000 square feet. And it's awesome. And I'm going to take you inside of it. It's very simple. The whole idea was, how can we build a facility, do our work, and maintain it very easily? So all the desks are all stand-up. There are no offices. That's my desk right there where there's no one standing. All the file cabinets are on wheels. Most everything in the facility is on wheels. This is a shipping and packaging area looking back towards the office. Everything's joined together. There are no walls separating everything. This is our order processing cart. So all the orders are color-coded based on the day of the week. So through visual controls, we can see whether or not we're ahead or behind. It's very effective. All the boxes are color-coded.
Set up
so all
in the
different
top
size
corner
boxes
there.
we can package in. Then the boxes are color-coded down below. So through quick visual controls, you can see everything. Our showroom, this is our conference table. Very simple. The meetings don't last very long. Graphic design, everything's on wheels. Everything's immaculate. Stand-up offices for graphic design as well. All the tools are laid out exactly where you need them. There's never a struggle. You're never looking for anything. The bathrooms are fantastic. It's like a Ritz-Carlton. All granite countertops, polished concrete floors, bidet toilet seats. There's no toilet paper on the floor. Everything's perfect.
Now, this is where I got the audio wrong on my video because I just finished yesterday. This is Callie. She polishes the floor every day with a really cool floor cleaner. We have 2 of them, and we go through our entire facility so everything is
Meeting area
spotless.
called the Sandbox is where we meet every morning for our morning meeting.
This is our morning meeting here.
Our kitchen area is beautiful. This is our main production line right here. There are about 5 or 6 machines here. All the product flows out towards the shipping terminal, so everything's set out to flow through the facility. This is our junk area where we keep all the things that we don't need. This is another whole production line. This is where we make the laser jam. It's a cell. You walk around. This is actually in the best fence area. That's the engineering desk right behind them. The engineers are on the shop floor all the time.
Okay, so this is our engineering team, and they both have their own scooters. Doug's version. Okay, so what happens, Doug? Let off your foot. So now you can let go of it.
As soon as I put my weight on, then this little pad lifts up.
Okay, so there you go. Now it stands up. Now look at JT, another engineer, has another design. His is the kickstand mode. That's how we think here at FastCap. You guys are crazy.
Amazing group of people. These are all the products that we make. A shadow board, which lets us look at that and reference it. We have scooters everywhere that allow us to get all over the facility very easily. This is the engineering cell. This is the work being done right next to the engineering station. This is the wood shop. The one thing that's missing here is sawdust. Everything is immaculate. We don't get anything dirty because that would be waste to have to go back and clean it up. So we've perfected our system for dust collection. And it's just a magical place to work. All the tools are shadowed. These are the CNC production areas where we make prototyping, repair, and build molds. All of our products are clearly labeled. This is our Sumitomo. We have 2 Sumitomo injection molding machines that are very precise with robots. that operate them. All the tools are put in shadow boxes. Then these are all the molds, and the molds all have the actual part attached to them. This is all the colorant and all the different kinds of materials we use, very clearly Kanban. All the parts are glued on the front of the boxes. Now this is our narrow aisle system, which is just fantastic. Very tight tolerances, about a 50-inch wide aisle, extremely fast, man up. So what happens here is the man puts the lift right at eye level, so there's no question as to picking the pallet or damaging anything, and they can pick the pallet from either side of the row very, very fast, all wire guided. They don't have to worry about steering. And as you can see, we have to maintain a very disciplined aisle because there's only a couple inches on each side. So, and they're traveling at high speed, so everyone has to do their job, make sure the boxes are in. He can switch from side to side very fast, very easy, it's very fluid. It allows us to maintain our inventory, which is waste, but we do a good job of maintaining it, if you will. Now these are all build cells, and the build cells are on the end caps of every aisle. So we have about 40 or 50 build cells. We have 700 products, and in these cells, 4x8, we build all of our products. They're all laid out, all the raw materials are close proximity, and then when we finish the orders, we will build a pallet order or a UPS shipment, whatever it takes, and we'll build it. That black thing is a cap that goes on top just to protect the order, and then the operator stays on the forklift, pushes a button, and the shrink wrapper automatically goes. So the operator does not have to deal with getting on and off. So it eliminates all that motion and transportation. They go back to work, and then when the machine is done, they'll come grab it, pick it up. Notice the forklifts. All the forklifts are beautiful, clean, polished. That's a 20-year-old forklift, and it looks like it's brand new.
What are you doing?
Cleaning.
Wow, why do we keep the forklift so clean? Why do we do all this?
This is the worst it'll ever be.
Wow, and you polish this like pretty regularly, or what's the deal?
Once a month, everything gets maintained, battery gets checked, water levels.
So we keep everything in our facility almost perfect.
Keep the rope tight.
So this is our nudge aisle right here. And you might wonder, what does nudge mean? It's junk spelled backwards. It's our way of being funny. So everything that we 3S out of our facility goes down there at the end. I'll show you. Yes, I'm riding a scooter down the aisle. So down here at the very end, we have all the stuff that we take out of and sort out of our office. So there's mine right there, Paul's desk junk. So anything we don't need, we get it out of here, and then we'll sort through this every 3 or 4 months, and we'll throw a bunch of it out. But yes, FastCap has junk. It's called nudge, and we get rid of it out of our work area so that we always work in a perfect area that's clean and organized.
So for FastCap, lean is everywhere, including our corporate aircraft. We even have lean processes for that.
So I just shut down my plane, and I developed a lean procedure for shutting it down. As you see, I've got a lot of switches here that have to be turned off perfectly. And they could be in a position like this or like this, and it's difficult to tell because of the kind of switches these are, whether or not they're in the correct position for the landing configuration and the shutdown. And see the red line I put across the top of those? Those red lines indicate to me that all switches are in the correct position for final shutdown. I just shut the plane down, and you can see I've got the same thing over on this side, and everything is in the correct position. So auto fuel, manual, everything needs to be in that position with the red line, which indicates to me at a glance, without any struggle, that all the switches are correct. So lean applies to the factory floor and to the cockpit and everywhere else. There is a quick overview of FastCap, and we get around this whole facility on razors because it allows us to overcome the size of this place because it's 50,000 square feet. It is absolutely huge. And I'm gonna do one last thing to end this tour, just for fun. I'm gonna run up the stairs so you can see what it's like up above, so you can see how beautiful this facility is, because it is cool. Notice the big ass fans, 110 windows, and this is up in the mezzanine. overlooking the entire facility. So there is a quick overview of FastCap, week 2 of our new production. Not bad for 2 weeks, get all that set up. It was a lot of work. So that was after 2 weeks of moving in, that last little clip, the other part I just shot the other day. But the question was, how do we help so many people? Because we make videos that answer all their questions. So the typical scenario for our company is, you're a customer, and you call us up and say, Paul, I have a question on your product. And we say, okay, what's your question? No problem. I'll shoot a custom video for you right now and have it uploaded to YouTube within 5 to 10 minutes. They go, what? I can't even get companies to answer their phone, and you're making a custom video addressing me by name? We have perfected and simplified the process of making videos, and that has been one of the most transformative things you could do as an organization. Next question.
When you first started out, who leads all the details of implementing Lean?
Me, it's my job, period. It's nobody else's. If you're a CEO of your company and you delegate this, you will fail, period. It is your job. I am the Chief Culture Officer. That is my job. My job is not to chart the vision for my company, how we're going to take over the world and be the best in the world. That's all nonsense. My job is to make work easy and help my people do the work effectively so I can serve my customer. The better I do that, the bigger my sales get.
Hey, got a question. When you're talking to a company about Lean and they're going to implement it, how quickly does a culture change from a staff or employment source? So, are all of them on the bus? Do some of them, are they evaluated based on that 2-second every day? Well, you're not doing it, so thanks
Fabulous
for playing.
question. Fabulous. So here's the answer. If you're me, you're going to screw it all up. I screwed it all up. 50% of our people left when I came back and did this, okay? Because they just couldn't get their head around it, and I didn't know what I was doing. Now, if you're other organizations who have been much more thoughtful about the way they've implemented it, unlike myself, they had very little turnover. And the key was, the one I like to give as the best example is Walters and Wolf with the 900 union, because everyone says you can't do it with union people. So what Nick Cosell did, who's a dear friend of mine and is an awesome Lean leader, for 1 year he's been doing this, he took his entire leadership team of 9 executives. They have branches in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Seattle, they're everywhere. They're the biggest glazing contractor on the West Coast. They do Google, they do all the big guys. He took those 9 people and he said, okay, this is it, we're doing this. He started training them. He required them to make a before and after video every week. He required them to read my book. Every week they went through a chapter, they discussed it, they started reading more books. He got them really trained. He got them seeing waste. He got them making improvements. Not saying, hey guys, go do improvements. He got them doing it. And then he rolled it out to the whole company, and it was nothing short of magic. I did it wrong personally. Go ahead.
So after you've launched Lean, what are the 3 things that kill it?
Here we go. Phenomenal question. Here we go. It's all ego. Okay, here you go, right here. So a Lean leader says, Bob, that's a great idea. A Lean leader is not worried about whether or not Bob screws it up, because Bob is going to screw it up. 50% of all the things we do are wrong and they don't work. But we learn what doesn't work and we learn what does work. Number 1. A Lean leader says, let me get that's not going there. There you go. A Lean said, Bob, I didn't know that. Oh, wow, that's cool, Bob. I didn't know that. A Lean leader says, Bob, I learned something new. Wow, Bob, that's amazing. A non-Lean leader says, the answer to your question, I got a better idea. You want to kill it? Get your ego involved. How much time did you waste on that improvement, Bob? I already figured that out last week, Bob. Oh, that's old news, Bob. That's already been done. There's how you kill it. If you're humble and you take on the role as a teacher to these people, outrageous stuff will happen. Every time a person makes an improvement in my facility, I am like crazy happy. I celebrate it. But if you just want to pick it apart, Lean is not for you. Okay, next question.
Selfishly, as both of us are in the software business, how does this apply to small companies that develop software, have to support it, test it, et cetera?
Beautiful question. I love it. I don't know if I'll pull it up fast enough because I have 180 slides here, but I have a guy who adopted Lean called emergency reporting. They are all over the world, and they deal with NASA, Center for Disease Control, and all the big names all over the world. They manage, and all the big fire departments, New York Police Department, everything else. So they're software people. And he called me up on the phone, and he said, hey, I want to tour your plant. And I said, no, which I always say to people for the most part, and you'll hear why in a minute. And so I said, no, you need to learn it more. And he goes, well, I heard a lot of good things about it. I want to do it. No, go read my book. It's all free. Go online, download it. Go watch some more videos. He calls me and says, I want to tour your plant. And I said, why? And he goes, because I really think we're ready to take our leadership to the next level. I really think our leaders can learn something by seeing the way your people think. And so I said no again. And he called me back a third time this is over the course of 2 or 3 months. And I said, okay, I'll let you do it, because he was so persistent. We read all the book. We're making improvements. We're actually starting to make videos. He came there, and then I went and spoke in a group like this. He was in the audience. I didn't know it after he'd come and toured our place one time, and he stood up. He's a great big guy, 6'5", and I asked questions like this, and he said, I just want you to know, and I'm going, oh, no, now he's going to tell me I'm a fraud, the whole thing's a fake. And he said, I toured Paul's plant about a month ago. In 1 month, we made 1,500 improvements, and we're software developers. We have found so much waste in the way we manipulate and develop software. It is unbelievable. Our people are on fire because what they do is they come to work thinking about how they can improve the process instead of just doing the work. And it's made work so much easier. Did that answer the question? Yeah. It is crazy what will happen with this. Okay, next question. You guys, first of all, phenomenal group with the questions. Over the top.
Probably the simplest question you'll have. YouTube channel, subscribe. We can subscribe. Do we go through the 2secondlean.com website? How do you get to some of these resources?
Yeah, just go to 2secondlean or FastCap, whatever you want. Just subscribe, and then you'll get a week. Every week we send out an email blast with a new improvement video that we get from someone around the world. It might be ours, might be somebody else's, and there's no charge for anything. If you go to our website to watch our videos, you don't have to give us your email address. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to nothing. You want to download the book for free in Spanish, English, audio, digital, Kindle, anything? Nothing. We don't want anything from you. Just click, download, listen.
My own question, Paul. So classic lean, week-long Kaizen, put up a cell and start doing things cellular instead of mass production. So if a person says the table saw needs to be next to the edge bender and it's 200 feet away, I'm just little me, how am I ever going to get that to happen? So how does it work in 2-second lean without doing a week-long Kaizen, getting everybody involved and moving machines and stuff like that?
Okay, well, we don't recommend. Now, for the terminology, it's called a Kaizen event. How many people, raise your hand if you know what a Kaizen event is? Okay, so a few people. Kaizen event is the concept of taking a particular area in a company and then bringing in the consultants or bringing in the experts, and they analyze what's going on. And then they spend like a week tearing something apart and putting it back together. That's what we did in the beginning when we got those wins from 45 minutes to 5 minutes. Those were Kaizen events. They were unbelievable. But we don't recommend doing it that way, and the reason why is because it's disruptive to the company. It's disruptive to flow. Lean is all about evenness and consistency. No fire drills, no emergency room. You go to a roundabout in a normal intersection, and they're magic. You come up to it, you slow, but you flow around it. You come up to a signal, everybody stops. You've got a backlog. You've got a batch work of cars waiting, idling, wasting, no flow. So what you want is flow. A Kaizen event, in my humble opinion, is not flow. It's batch work. So we don't recommend doing it. We recommend just making small improvements, and all the improvements are based on 4 simple criteria. And again, it is so simple, it's unbelievable. We don't make an improvement to moving the table saw if it impairs safety. Safety is the number one thing, okay? So we're not going to do something if it's going to impair safety. The second thing is quality. Whenever we make an improvement, if we impair the quality of what we're trying to achieve, then we're not going to do it. The next thing is simplicity. And the last one is speed. You would think this is all about faster and moving around. It's not at all. It's about improving quality of everything you're doing. And in doing so, you will make it simpler and you will make it faster invariably. So we recommend making the small improvements, and the way you take the ego out of it is you teach your people those 4 criteria. And as long as they know it's about safety, it's about quality, simplicity, and speed, then the ego's not going to get in the way. They're not going to say, well, that was my idea, and Bob's idea was this, and Martha's idea was this, and Mary's idea was this. Oh, that was my... That isn't even in our vocabulary at our company. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time I've ever even felt any tension like that ever about an improvement. Everybody is consumed with delivering quality to the customer, and that is the goal. We are there as servants to our customers. We are there as servants to one another. I mean, this is the nomenclature. These are the words we use in our company, and we are not a Christian organization. You are a servant to your fellow worker. You are a servant to our customer. And as long as we keep that simple thing straight, somehow or another, everything takes care of itself. Did I answer your question, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely see better than ever how this applies to any kind of organization. What I am curious about is when you walk us through the 8 wastes, seems like a few of those are hard to apply to service or nonprofit type businesses like transportation or
So
inventory.
let's do that right now. That would be a good transition. So the 8 wastes, maybe not every 8 waste is present in every issue, but the 8 wastes are everywhere. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do the 8 wastes now. Okay, here we go. So there are 8 wastes, and I do not recommend memorizing these with an acronym like Tim would, like a lot of people teach it. I just do not do it. I used to do it this way. These are all the mistakes I made. If you understand what creates waste, then you'll understand all the following wastes. So here's how it works. We're going to do the 8 deadly wastes fast food style. The first thing you do is you overproduce. The minute you overproduce anything in life, you have waste. So the food out there, some of you ate the fruit, some of you ate the mixed vegetable thing, some of you didn't. You didn't ask for the mixed vegetables, you didn't ask for the fruit, you didn't ask for 2 pieces of sandwich, but they pushed it on you. They overproduced. I'm not picking on them, I'm just using it as an example. They pushed that on you. So as soon as that happened, then the next thing that happens is transportation. So now you're transporting, second waste, you're transporting more of what the customer asked for, right? A perfect system was they would have said, Bob, Martha, Sue, what do you want for lunch? I want half a sandwich, I want the fruit, and I don't want the vegetables. I don't want the iced tea, I don't need the water. But you think about what just happened out there. The overproduction was insane. It was insane out there what just happened. And I'm not picking on them. It happens at every conference I go to. Overproduction number 1, transportation number 2. Next thing you know, you got to put it in inventory. So they got all that extra fruit cocktail, they bring it back here, they got a choice. They can put it in the refrigerator, or they can say, we already served it, it's been out at room temperature. Defect. Now you got a defect. Okay? So up here, they made too much, they transported, they put it in the warming oven, customer orders a hamburger, doesn't want pickles, we got a defect, now we're reworking over processing. So the next thing you know, we got to overprocess it. Then we got to waste motion when we do that, the next way. Then the customer's waiting. Then we're wasting the employee potential because we're doing stupid work because we as leaders have made our people overproduce. Instead of understanding the concept of pull. Your customer should pull what you want. You never push. It's that simple. Go ahead. Number 8 is unused employee creativity. I'm sorry, the slide's a little dark. A place for improvement. You got it. And that's what I want. You need to see it. So look, I'm wasting all your time. So this will be improved the next time we do a slide. Absolutely. Let's start from the beginning. First one is you make too much of it. Then you transport it. Then you put it in inventory. Then after inventory, you look at the inventory. Guess what? There's a defect. We all have it in all of our stuff. There's a defect. Now we got a defect. We have to overprocess it or reprocess it. In the process, we're doing motion. Meanwhile, the customer's waiting. and we're wasting employee potential because we're making them do stupid work instead of small work. I'll give you another way of remembering it that I just came up with, and I've never said it before. I can say it because I'm a little overweight, 20 pounds, got some nice love handles. My wife always says, you hang them out there, I'm going to catch them. We overproduce too much food. Then we transport too much food to our mouth. Okay? Then we put an inventory right here. Okay? Then we get defects because our knees start to hurt. Then we overprocess because we take a handful of pills to compensate. Lipitor, Flomax, Viagra, whatever it is. Right? You getting what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the kids are waiting because you're stuck on the couch because you don't want to do anything anymore. You getting where I'm going? Overproduction is a crazy thing. On this one. Okay, so the first one, you make too much of something. Then you transport it. Then you put it in inventory. Then you find a defect. Then you overprocess it. Then you waste motion. Then the customer is waiting, and you've wasted your employee potential. And it all starts with overproduction. So the way we remember it is 40% of our products are made overseas in China, 60% are made in our plant, which is an amazing accomplishment because all of our stuff should be made in China. But we continue to grow our manufacturing base, buy more machinery, more equipment, hire more people. It's incredible. But the reality of it is we overproduce in China. We buy 10,000 of things, our customers ordered 1,000. We transport it, and this is how we remember it. We poke fun at ourselves, okay? We make too much in China. We transport it across the water, right? We put it in inventory on our nice high rack system that you saw. Nice and sexy, right? It's all waste. Better be able to poke fun at yourself. We go and get something off the thing. We find out China didn't make it right. There's a defect. Now we got to overprocess it. We put it in one of our cells, and we rework it with motion. Meanwhile, the customer's waiting because they want the saw hood, but we got to rework it. And we're stupid leaders because I'm making my people do stupid work reworking instead of figuring out a way to do it just in time in the United States. You get it? Poke fun at yourself. If you can't, you'll never get this. Next question.
Paul, back here. Back here.
Okay, right there.
How do you make the process fun so that it energizes your employees?
Oh, right here. You guys are killer, man. You guys are just giving me, you're throwing me a bunch of softballs. Okay, here we go. Hey, Paul here. So, people come on a tour here, and one of the things we love to show them is our kitchen table, how we leave everything perfectly clean all the time, and we have our salt and pepper marked out, we have our Windex marked out, we have our paper towels marked out, and people have been watching the videos we've been posting about the tours, and this one guy looks at it and says, Paul, that's really cool, but why don't you use magnets? Then you don't have to worry about kind of realigning the salt and pepper and getting it right over the thing. And I go, no, that's a great idea. And we're like the magnet kings. We make all kinds of different magnets. So Andre and I undertook this project to put magnets under the Windex, the paper towels, and the salt and pepper shaker. So this is what it looks like. Check this out. You take the salt, boom, it just goes right out of there. But the best thing is, you go over and you try to put the salt on the pepper, and it doesn't go on there because we reverse the polarity. You put them on there, look at that. They both just go on perfectly. The same thing with this.
That is so cool.
Is that incredible? I know. Look at it. Check this one out. Look at that. It just goes into place.
Look at this.
One of our people that came on a tour, somebody watched a tour. Is that amazing?
That just makes lunch so much more enjoyable.
I know. It's fun, isn't it? It looks like you're gonna cry. It's crazy, isn't it? We take our improvements very seriously here at FastCap. It's a big deal to us. So if you want to give us an idea on how we can improve, we would love to know about it. Right, Elena?
Wow.
Oh, you'll get over it. It's okay. It's just an improvement. We're constantly having fun with everything we do. We don't take ourselves too seriously. None of our videos are perfect. I just got up here in front of a group of very sophisticated people and played a tour video that had mistakes in it. I don't care. I don't care. It's not about being perfect. It's about improvement. It's about continuous improvement, and I've made myself vulnerable to my people and to the people around the world. I mean, if they want perfect, I'm not the right guy. A lot of people say, you must be perfect, your house. I'm not perfect at all. I have an amazing life. I have an amazing company. I have an amazing family. And it all happens because we're continuously improving, not because we're perfect. Next question.
I'm in the service industry, run an insurance brokerage. How do those 8 deadly wastes, because we don't actually produce, I mean, we deliver services and to our clients.
Because everything you do is a process. So I'll ask you a question. What is the number one activity that you do at your company? What is the most commonly performed activity that you do at your company?
Well, it could be the delivery of certificates of insurance to our construction clients.
Okay,
That
good.
could be one.
So now I'm going to ask you, what is the process for delivering the certificate of insurance to your construction client? Is it just like boom and it's over with, or is there a whole process involved in making that all happen?
There's a process involved. Each
Right.
certificate's different.
Well, I can guarantee you that 98% of that process is waste. I can
probably
guarantee
right.
it. If Toyota's 98% waste, I can guarantee you got more waste than you ever dreamed of. So now you need to here's the way it was put to me that really stuck with me. Taichi Ono is the one who developed lean for Toyota. He was the one that Sakichi Toyota said, hey, look, we got to figure this out. He was an engineer working on the shop floor, really got this stuff, and really said, man, all these guys on the shop floor can come up with all these great ideas. We should really just task them with solving all the problems. So Taichi Ono said, all we're trying to do is from the time the order comes, from the time the customer says, I need a certificate of insurance, to the time you deliver the goods, all we're trying to do is remove the waste inside those walls consistently over the life of the product. That's all we're doing. We're seeing excess motion, over processing, customer waiting. Do you deliver it to the customer like the second they give it to you? Can you do that? The second the customer asks for it, can you deliver the product?
It would take several seconds, but
so
pretty quickly. I mean, through email.
Okay, so there were probably, it looks like you probably removed all the waste if that's the case. So why do people pay you to do anything? No, just kidding.
It could be.
Just kidding. What value are you adding?
There's more than just that to it.
Yeah, okay. So all you're trying to do is remove the waste inside the borders of that activity. And whether you're answering the phone, so here's a good example of what that looks like in a non-manufacturing environment, okay? So we had a problem. People would come to us and they'd say,
Hi,
I
I'm
don't
Paul
understand
Akers,
your
and
company.
welcome to FastCap's
so this
website.
is what we did.
What is FastCap? We're a product development company specializing in innovative products for the professional woodworker. Where do we get our ideas? We get them from people just like you. People call me up on the phone, they send me a video, and they show me all their cool innovations. And if we like it, we put it on the market. We develop it, we manufacture it, and we sell it worldwide. We're in 40 countries, 2,700 distributors all over the place.
What just happened?
Hi,
I
I'm
let
Paul
them
Akers,
blow
and
me up
welcome.
because they were not interested in what I was saying to them. So in other words, what I'm saying is, back to the humor thing, people would go on our website and go, what do you guys do, man? You guys do so many crazy things. What is your company? And I said, that's waste, right? They got to call us up. They got to search. They're looking around. Wait. So I said, I'll do a walkout video where I walk out and basically tell people what FastCap is. And just to add a little humor and fun into it, because lean is simple and fun, we put a bomb down there in the bottom corner, and if they click on it, they can blow me up, and if they want, they can replay it over and over again if they really don't like me. It applies to everything. The minute a customer doesn't get what they want at that very second, there's opportunity to improve. Next question.
Another comment, Paul, I'm over here. If you guys run out of ideas, you just ask your employees. The 8th waste was wasting their creativity. And if you ask their employees what we can do to streamline that process of the insurance certificate, they'll come up with 10 things. They'll tell you where the waste is. And so if you can't figure it out, ask the 8th waste.
Non-stop, they will come up with the solutions.
Here's our next question.
So I run a recruiting house, and we're always hunting for candidates. You could say that you talk to 100 candidates to find one. So there's a lot of, if we could, cutting out all the waste would be jumping right to the one, right?
You get it. You get it.
Yeah, how do I get there?
Okay, well, I'll tell you how I do it. Okay, so I have a new process I've actually just implemented, right? Because we're looking for a new graphic designer right now. And so I get so many, everybody wants to work for us. So when I put an ad in the paper, I mean, the whole world comes undone and everyone wants to work, right? But I can't do that with everyone because I don't have the time. So I said, send me a video resume. So I actually made a video resume, and I'm going to see how effectively I can do this right now. I'm on the internet, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. Is my screen? No, my screen's not up there yet. Okay, so we ask people to do a video resume so we can see what they're like. Just kind of get a feel for them rather than haul everybody in. So this is what a video resume looks like, and I just did this video resume.
I'm Paul Akers, so this
yesterday on the way to work. The day I came here, I did this. Let me just, almost there. I don't normally do stuff on the fly this much, but let's see if I can pull it off. We'll go mirror screen, and you'll see exactly how we handle that situation. One more click, you guys. I'm so sorry. This is waste of waiting. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to go to our video screen. It's mirroring. There we go, full screen, and it's playing.
I'm Paul Akers, so this is a video resume or an example of when I'm driving down the road. Just keep it real simple. So my name's Paul Akers, I'm 53 years old. Been a woodworker my entire life. I started out in industrial arts program in high school, learned about woodworking, then went on to work with Bob Taylor. Worked with him for a couple years and built a lot of guitars, really mastered craftsmanship. From there, I went on to restore beautiful homes in Pasadena, and I really enjoyed it and learned a lot about management at that point. Got my degree in education from Biola University, and from there I went on to teaching in the industrial arts program. Had a great time, loved the kids, couldn't stand the bureaucracy in the school system, so I left and went into business for myself, became a general contractor, cabinet maker, did a lot of custom homes and things like that. And then in 1997, I invented the FastCap, and things really took off. One product, and the next product was the Laser Jam, and just one thing after another. And so now we're a product development company, about 40 countries, 2,700 distributors around the world. And life is good, work very, very hard. I'm a lean fanatic. I love everything about lean, about continuous improvement. I've learned that it's not about using the tools, it's about the culture. And I like working with people who are teachable and humble, because if you're not willing to say, hey, I learned something new, you're wasting your time, I've found out. So I'm very selective about who I work with, and sky's the limit. Life's good. Enjoy. Okay, that's a continuous improvement that I just made. And now I made that for the candidates of the graphic design position, but I really made that for you to be able to now take that tool, and you could use that tool to show people this is what I want to help me weed people out or find the right person. Next question.
So Paul, how would you recommend rolling this out into our organization? Are there particular areas, are there particular people that you recommend working with in an organization? What does day one, week one look like?
Okay, here is the 3 rules of making lean work, okay? The 3 rules are: the guy at the top or the woman at the top, the CEO, must be fully engaged 100% in implementing lean. Rule number 2, the guy at the top or the woman must be fully engaged in implementing lean. Rule number 3, the guy at the top or the woman at the top must be fully engaged in implementing lean. End of subject. Any other way will fail.
Is there a 4th rule?
No, just repeat 1 through 3. You know, it's that simple. It's not, there's no brain surgery here. It's just the simplest thing in the world to make this thing go. But people want to complicate it, and people don't want to get their hands dirty. I mean, I love the fact that I'm on the shop floor. You guys didn't see my video on, let me see if I can pull that up real quick here, on my desk, right? How many people have seen my lean desk video? Anybody here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5 people. This will pretty much summarize. I'm going to show you 2 videos that are really going to hopefully blow you out of the water, because this is one of the most popular videos ever watched that we've ever produced. Oh, not that one. That one's next. These are the two most popular. Okay, this was my first desk, typical office like most people, 4 walls. We have a bookshelf, computer, drawers, a computer screen, lots of up and down, a chair. Every time I got interrupted, I was up, then I was down, up, then I was down, lots of waste. And then I went to a stand-up desk. So let's go take a look at what that looked like. Okay, welcome to my next office. Beautiful office, all stand-up. Even the conference table right here is stand-up. We used to have big cushy leather chairs. They all went away. Now we stand around a conference table, and guess what? The meetings don't last very long. How long do your meetings last? We were taking financial meetings that took 6 hours, turned them into 2 hours just because we were standing up. Very easy to get comfortable. Now on this desk, what's different, again, it's stand-up. Quite a bit different than the last desk that you saw. So now every day I just stood up here. It worked out very well. I was able to get a lot of work done. Occasionally I get interrupted. I just turn around and go right back to my work. Very effective, and I liked it a lot. But then I thought to myself, look at all this room. Look at how much room this whole office takes up. What do I need all this room for? It's just a great place to collect things, including my guitars, because I like to play. Let's go to my next office and you'll see what that looks like. Okay, welcome to my next office. Very small, very compact, not nearly as opulent as the other ones, not that the other ones were that opulent, but this is much different. Now we took a rack from Costco, we took a metal rack here, we put a particle board top, we painted it. I have my printer right here, very fast, very easy to access. I have the monitor on top. As you can see, I'm standing up, I'm not hunching over. I have a microphone right here that I do a lot of recording on that works very nicely, and it's quite effective. But still, why do I need all this space? I can't quite figure it out. Now, the way this all came about is I have a friend who runs a much bigger company than me that has a much smaller desk than me. And we're kind of having a contest to see who's got the smallest desk. So finally, I went to what Jeff has, and Jeff made me one of his desks, and now let's go take a look at that. Okay, here's my office. You say, what? Yeah, I'm on the shop floor. My friend Jeff Koss has a company much larger than mine. He has a factory floor where he has 30 of his executives actually on the shop floor on stand-up desks. So I said, if it's good enough for Jeff, it's probably good enough for me. And they're a very lean company. So this is my desk right here, right in the middle of the shop floor. You would never expect it. When I walk in the morning, I just take my laptop out. And guess what? If I want to be in a different part of the factory, we'll just roll over to a different part of the factory. And I'll work with whoever I want, whenever I want. Watch that cart. And now I'm over in the packaging area. And if packaging is having a problem or I want to see how things are going, I can just roll it right over here. The cool thing about this desk is I've got a plug-in on the back side. I can plug it in when my laptop gets low. I've got a power strip right here that's very easy to plug all my accessories in if I need to. But of course, you would expect nothing less. I have a lean briefcase. When I come in the morning, I just need to plug that in. All my accessories are being charged right here. My laptop simply goes right back in here. How fast could that be? And I'm off to my next appointment. Let's go. That's lean. So that's my lean journey on my desk, and actually it's gone further than that now because we have no walls in our facility anymore except for the bathroom and a conference room. Basically, there are no walls in our entire facility. It's all open. So the question was, how do you roll it out? You have to get the person at the top involved. I think Bob, I can't see where Bob is. Bob, can you raise your hand? Where's Bob? Okay, so Bob, it would be good actually if you got the microphone right now and articulated maybe what happened when, because Bob's been to our place twice or 3 times, I can't even remember, twice? Yeah, they're coming a 3rd time, they're coming to our place. But Bob's a very special person, so I don't want you to be rude. I'm not inviting everyone to come there because I don't have the time. We have the videos. Bob has been grandfathered in because he's done such a phenomenal job of implementing lean in his company. But he came there, he wanted to come there the last trip, and Bob couldn't make it. So I'll let Bob, you tell him what happened, if you don't mind. Is that okay?
What your response was?
Yeah, what my response was.
I made the first trip with our executive team. I had a conflict for the second trip that was scheduled, and Paul was kind enough to say that if I was not in attendance on the second trip, that it would not happen. So I had to make some rearrangements with my schedule and got a direct flight from Phoenix to Bellingham and was there with our team. And best thing I ever did because it was our second level of management, and those guys caught the vision. And lean in our company is on fire right now because of it.
On fire. And because Bob is there supporting it. Do not delegate this to anyone. period. Okay? And if you deal with me, you won't be able to delegate because I won't deal with you if you do. It's your job, period.
How do you reward success?
Our people are paid, well, as I told you about Southwest, the highest paid crew in the world, okay? So our people are paid oftentimes twice industry standard who work for us. Our people, first of all, we never reward them for an improvement. That is their job. Their job is to improve. I'm not going to manage, I'm not going to deal with any of that. I just flat out pay our people a lot more than everybody else. Of course, I can afford to pay them a lot more because I make a lot more money than most people. Okay? And I share that with our people regularly. Just on Friday, I know that we hit a new milestone on our monthly sales, and my wife handed out $100 bills to everybody in the company. It's regular. It's what we do all the time. But besides that, their pay is twice what most people make.
Next question from a cabinet right there.
Yeah, Phil.
Talk to me about cameras, microphones, and editing.
All
software.
you need is this right here. All you need is your iPhone. Now, if you want to go to another level, I told you when I did the video that I showed you our company on, I shot with a different video, and I've made all these mistakes, and I try to help people. This is the camera that I choose to use most of the time, although a lot of the videos are still shot with my iPhone. But if I want to do a really good job, I'll pull out this Sony. It's $1,500, and the reason why it's so good is it has something no other camera in the world has, and that is a mechanical gyro inside. So the pictures are very stable. There's no shaking. You know how video cameras are always shaking? This one compensates completely for it. It is a phenomenal. I paid $3,000 for this camera. It's so good. The audio is excellent. Everything about this camera is phenomenal. But the truth of the matter is, 99% of all the videos can be done on this. But I'm a little bit of a video maniac, so I have a little higher level. You can edit everything on here. You can upload it to YouTube on here. You don't need any special software, just iMovie if you're going to piece something together. If you're not going to piece it together, just stage the before and stage the after at the same time. Okay, this is the before, and a lot of times I will hold it with one hand because I have my finger. You saw me do that in a couple videos. I'll be pointing, which really helps the viewer see what you're talking about. This is the nudge aisle. That's where it is down there, but I still move very slowly. This is before, this is after, and that's how we do it. It's that simple. Do not complicate it. I waited 2 years. The biggest mistake, the two biggest mistakes I ever made was not being on the shop floor sooner. The length of time that I spent in my office was so detrimental to my company, and we went on rocket fuel when I got onto the shop floor, and everyone could access me anytime they wanted. That was the first biggest mistake I ever made. The second biggest mistake was waiting 2 years to make videos. I just couldn't get my head around it. It was too complicated. I bought all this fancy video equipment. I made a studio, a green room. I did all this stuff, and I was paralyzed. I couldn't do it. It was too hard. When all I needed to do was simply open up this thing, put it on video, and go, this is what the problem is. This is what the solution is. That's it. Start uploading to YouTube, and everything else, you will figure it out in due course. I've got videos on how to do videos online. Everything's there. Next question.
So each morning they start with the 3S, then they 2-second, and then an hour meeting.
A half hour to 45-minute meeting. It's been as long as an hour and 15-minute meeting. We'll do whatever it does, whatever it takes. But again, we're studying history, the Constitution. We have 21 principles we review. We go over 6 improvements that people have made that morning. Okay, a lot of times people will have a little video they made. They'll put it up on the screen. They'll show pictures. We'll show all problems, any problems that's in the facility, whether or not it's a piece of toilet paper on the floor in the bathroom, whether it's a drip on the countertop, a spot on the mirror. We are so disciplined. It is the funnest place, most fun, enjoyable place you could ever work. But we tolerate no low performance, none. Everyone holds each other accountable.
Where are you having meetings for like HR issues or when people come in and you want
Just in that conference room I showed you, stand up.
Is there walls there?
Yeah, that's the only place there's a wall. Okay. Right, that's the only place. Just one place. My wife, financial, the entire company's run right at the desk in front of everybody. I mean, her desk is facing away so that the whole world can see it, but no office, 0. It doesn't happen and it won't happen. Our engineering department, all on the shop floor. Most of our best inventions, most of our best products that we sell millions of dollars of came from companies we taught lean to, like Phil's company, that came up with an idea. We paid them a 5% royalty and we took them to market. The best ideas came from the companies we taught lean to. If that isn't money in the bank, I don't know what to say.
You mentioned 4 improvement criteria: safety, quality, simplicity, speed.
Right.
When there's a conflict, which wins?
Well, always safety trumps everything. Quality is second. Simplicity is next. And then speed. And everyone thinks, oh, it's all about working really fast. Your people must be frazzled. My people are like totally relaxed. They're like, God, this is the greatest place in the world. I got a text message. They rolled, in our kitchen, you saw that big, everything we did in our facilities for our people. 110 windows, all LED lights, no light switches, polished concrete floors, radiant heat. It's magic to work there. 3 big-ass fans that keep you totally cool. They opened the door to the kitchen, that gigantic roll-up glass door. They rolled the table out because everything's on wheels. They rolled it outside. They're sitting in the sun. They sent me a picture. Check this out. And I'm like, so cool.
Okay, people standing up all day. Any issues, medical issues, swollen feet, people that are, on their feet all day long?
Great questions, great questions. So here's the thing. Everything I'm showing you, you should not go home and tear up your company and try to do what we've done. This is a journey. This happens slowly, consistently, and methodically. There are companies, like I could say many companies, I think Bob's company is approaching it. They're getting close to where we are after doing this for 14 years. I think Bob, at another 3 or 4 months, will be operating at the same level that we're operating at. So it can happen very, very quickly. But I do not recommend you dismantling, making everybody jump up on their feet, stand up. I led by example. I was the first one. Then my general manager, then my assistant said, Paul, I'd really like to stand up. I said, Michelle, if you want to stand up, no problem. So we took foam and we raised her computer up so she could be at the right level. We didn't tear up her desk. We just raised it up. She goes, man, I really like it. It was hard in the first 3 weeks. I have to admit, my back hurt a little bit. I couldn't even think of sitting down, she would tell you. I wish she was here to interview. She's awesome. He said, I would never even think of sitting down. Now, I'm much more healthy. My posture's better. The statistics say that you live 5 years longer if you're standing up. I mean, the health benefits are gigantic, and plus the productivity is off the charts in terms of standing up. But don't do anything quickly. Everything slow, consistently, methodically. The key is slow, consistently, methodically. Not stop-start, not unevenness, but just a 5-minute meeting. We have a half-hour, 45-minute meeting. You should have a 5-minute meeting once a week. And then 5-minute meeting twice a week. And then 5-minute meeting every day. You work into this. You cannot do it quickly. You'll destroy. You'll have a riot like I did. I lost 50% of my people, remember? I did it all wrong.
So some of you guys don't have manufacturing. You're not doing all this physical work. You have an office and, not all this inventory and stuff to worry about. So you're starting to check out. But Mike Sackett here from Sackett Financial Group, one of my members, we started a little lean thing in his place, and it started with the shared drives on his network. So I want to give a little testimony.
Excellent.
Yeah, we saw Paul at Biola several months back, and Jeff has been coaching our team internally. But what we did is try to take some low-hanging fruit, and I talked to Paul a little bit about this the other night. But what we did was started with just getting our shared drives consistent. We looked at there, and there's so much garbage, duplicity. You can't find anything. So we started with that. Then we started working on each person's individual desktops. And we're in the computer, or in accounting and tax, so everybody's on their computer all day long, cleaning up their own individual computers. And then also, we did, and I told this to Paul, we started to clean up all the garbage emails that we get. Junk file, junk file, junk file. We said, there's 20 people in our firm, and we said if everybody gets 10 junk emails a day times 20 people, that's a lot of wasted time. So what we did is right now, we're still just in the low-hanging fruit side of lean, but we're just doing one little thing at a time. And the interesting about it is it seems like what we're doing right now seems like it's never going to end. So
it never does.
Yeah.
Waste is like gravity. It is pulling at you 24/7 all the time. If you don't believe me, go look at the glove box in your car, go look at your garage. You go clean it out, and 2 weeks later, it's a disaster. Good processes, refining processes alleviates that. Your example was over the top fantastic, and this is why I'm so excited about it, because, how cool a job is it when people's lives are being improved around the world by implementing some simple concepts? I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. How else could you do that than with this simple vehicle? And as I said before, this is just the gospel dressed up in a business suit. I mean, there's no mystery to any of this stuff.
Mike's IT guy also is on fire, just reprogramming things, taking 6-hour processes to 15 minutes or, those kinds of things. So
all day long, man.
Think about it, it's everywhere. It's not just in manufacturing.
It's everywhere.
Speak to safety record, work comp, et cetera.
In our case, I don't want to say flawless, but it's flawless. I think I've had 2 paper cuts. I've named 2 utility knife cuts in 14 years. I think I had someone smash the tip of their finger one time, but I can't remember the details of it. But we're heavy, man. We do some serious stuff. We do everything. And
I think we're out of time.
yeah. There's one video I want to show, though, just before, because I think it will cap this whole thing off, and it's called Lean Masha, and I think this really typifies really what I'm talking about. So I've got my desk on the shop floor, as I told you, was the biggest mistake I ever made, not getting there sooner. And this is exactly what happened to me because I'm on the shop floor. I'm not King Paul. You don't have to knock on the door, go through my receptionist, go up to the executive suite to get to me or anything like that. I'm just always there. And this is what happened a few days ago.
Okay, so one night in Mexico, we just pulled into Mexico in Carbo, and it was really hot, and we didn't want to sleep inside those bedrooms, so we slept on the bus. And it was still really hot on the bus, so couldn't sleep. And all the girls just were asking questions about everything, and they asked me what I do for a living, and I told them I'm a process engineer. Cool title, by the way, Paul.
You deserve it.
And so they're like, cool, what is that? They were all really wow, so excited about the title. They thought I'd do something huge and stuff, and I'm like, I do. I'm like, I work in a warehouse, and there's we do lean. I'm like, have you guys ever heard of lean? And they're like, no. And so I'm like, with this title comes a lot of explanation. I'm like, so I started explaining to them what lean is, and there's this one girl, and for the rest of the trip, she was just like, Masha, tell me more about lean. I'm so interested. She was all over, and she's 16.
Wow.
And she's like, that is so interesting. And then later on, whatever we were doing, because we had kitchen duty and everything, and she would be like, Mosh, check this out. This is a waist here. If we move it here. And she was doing lean on the mission.
Get out of here.
I'm not lying.
And she's never heard of it before.
No. And she's like, I'm going to be coming to your area to live with my cousins for the summer. And she's like, I'll be working on a berry farm. I'm like, well, man, if you're this interested in lean,
You're going to kill it.
who knows, you could do anything.
Now, you were saying, too, it's interesting, Masha, you said, I work in a warehouse where there's all these processes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you were saying, go ahead.
So I told them, I was like, I work in a warehouse where there's a process for everything that you do. And when you walk up, the reason we're called process engineers is because you walk up and you're focusing on the process the entire time that you're building the product, and you have to improve at all times, and you just see the waste. And then they're like, what waste? And so I'm like, actually, there's 8 wastes. And so I start going through them, and all these girls are like, wow, can you give us an example of how this is a waste? And I'm like, well, if you're doing this and it's behind you, I'm like, you're wasting motion. I'm like, you keep doing this, you just move it here, and then look, your hands are right here, and you could do it so much faster. So I had to explain to them that when you're improving something, that it has to be faster, safer, simpler, or better in quality. And they're just all ears, and they wouldn't let me go to bed. I was just awake the whole time, kind of everybody's laying in their own seat, and I'm just telling them a bedtime story that wouldn't put them to bed.
Not bad for 18 years old, eh? Pretty awesome. Thank you.